Good evening and welcome to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. It is homecoming night for the Siegel Stars as the Warren County Pioneers are here in Murfreesboro for homecoming night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome inside the MTN Sports broadcast booth. I'm Noah Brady, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Zachary Lone. Zachary, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Great to be back for another homecoming night.
It feels like fall finally. We've been in the
Yes.
suits all summer long, it seems like, but now we're finally getting to enjoy it. It's like 70 degrees here in Murfreesboro. It is a great night to be here for homecoming night in Stars Country. Now, Zach, the last time these two teams played, it was a 25-20 outcome in favor of Warren County. What does Siegel have to do here to turn the tide here at home tonight?
They have to stop the run. That is where this whole game plan for Siegel has to be around. If you can't stop the run, then Warren County is going to have the ball for 40 minutes. Warren County had the ball for 32 minutes last week out of the 48-minute game. They just controlled it from beginning to end. So Siegel's defense, and that's third and fourth quarters, when those 3 to 4 yard gains start going to 6-7 yards, that's when they're going to have to come together and say, hey, look, guys, we have got to get the stops here.
Zach, we were able to be there for Blackman at their homecoming game last week. Back-to-back homecoming games week for us this year. This has been just great, awesome. How important is it for Siegel to start out hot tonight here in front of the home crowd on homecoming night?
This is their last game before they go to Riverdale and then to Stewart's Creek. This is their last tune-up to get everything right, because right now, Siegel is 0-2 in their region play. They have to win these next 2 or 3 games to close out their season. A big way to do that is win on senior night and you get some momentum. Lose here and you still have no momentum going into next week.
Absolutely. For Warren County, don't let that 1-3 record fool you that they come into tonight with. They've actually only played 2 football games this year. Both their other games have been canceled because of COVID. On September 10th, they lost a non-district matchup to Mount Juliet, but then last week, huge momentum setter for the Pioneers. They had a big-time district win against Cookeville in Cookeville. Zach, these guys sit at the top of the 6A Region 3 leaderboard. What does Warren County have to do tonight?
Well, they're going to have to run the ball. They have to run it and run it often like they do. They've ran 99 plays this year, and 86 of them have been on the ground.
They are definitely a dominant force on the ground game, and we'll see how they stack up against the Stars defense tonight. It's going to be a quick tone setter for sure, and we're going to find out really quick. When we come back, we're going to have kickoff action for you here on homecoming night at Siegel High School. The Warren County Pioneers are here, and we are about set for action. We'll be right back on the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network as the Siegel Stars take the field. It is 7 o'clock here on a Friday night in Murfreesboro, and that means, Zach, it's time for high school football in Tennessee.
Yes, it is, and this is one of the better games of the weekend. This is going to be a very hard-nosed, old-school, physical football game. For 48 minutes, it's going to be who wants it more.
And you bring up the time, 48 minutes, and we were talking about this a little bit in the pregame. Warren County, so far this year, in their 2 games that they've been able to play, again, 2 of their other games being canceled already this year, in both of their games, they've averaged about 35 to 37 minutes of time of possession out of that 48 minutes of play. How important is it for Warren County's offense to establish that ground game early on here and to show that, hey, we're going to run the ball and we're going to run it straight at you?
Do you know how you establish that?
You run the ball.
You run 52 plays last week and get 15 first downs. They have ran 99 plays on the year, and guess how many of them have been runs?
86?
That's right, 86 of them. 86 of them, and they do it through 3 primary ball carriers, excuse me. Jathan Pleasant, he's carried the ball 17 times on the year, and he has 188 yards rushed per carry, and last week had 9 carries for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns against Mount Juliet 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, that was 2 weeks ago. And then you have Braylon Grayson. They're going to get the ball first. Braylon Grayson has 28 carries on the year for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the third is Eli Cantrell. He has carried the ball 26 times for 83 yards. They have only thrown the ball 13 times.
Only thrown the ball 13 times, and they were successful. Again, their one district matchup against Cookeville already this year.
They threw the ball 3 times last week. So in week 1, Nathan Elrod went 1 of 10.
Here's the A.J. Florence kickoff as Warren County is set to receive the ball first. And he's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line, and he's going to break it out to the left side across the 30, where he's going to be tackled at the 35 for a great starting field position for the Warren County offense. As the Pioneers take the field for the first time, they'll start at the 35-yard line with 11:55 to go here in the first quarter.
And yeah, that was Kendrick Cox, who is their main kickoff returner for the Warren County Pioneers. But again, so 2 weeks ago against when Warren County played, they threw the ball 10 times, completed 1 pass for 75 yards. So again, when they connect, most of the time it's big plays, big chunks, because they don't throw it enough. So they don't throw it as often. But again, there's a chance that when Siegel gets the ball for the first time, there's a little under 7 to 6 minutes to go in the game, in the first quarter.
1st and 10 here for the Pioneers offense as Nathan Elrod is going to hand it off to the right-hand side to his back. That's number 32, I believe, and he's going to have a gain of about 7 on the play. And they're just going to keep on pushing that pile for an extra gain of about 3 yards. And it looks like they're going to mark him down at the first down marker at the 45-yard line.
Yes.
That was actually number 22 on the play, so that was Braylon Grayson, the 5'10", 190-pound back.
Yeah, but so that was a good job of lowering his shoulder and then and just keep his legs moving. That is what they do. They are physical, and right there, his first contact.
Excuse me, that was actually Jathan Pleasant on the play, number 22. Yes.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But he kept it moving, kept the pile moving forward. So then the reinforcements came and pushed him towards that first down marker.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers as he's going to be stacked up in the backfield and dropped for a huge loss back to the 40-yard line. That was number 11 for the Stars. And that was Bryant Lawless, the junior.
On the carry was Braylon Grayson. If you are a Siegel, this is what you want. On the first down play, it was a 7-yard loss. Again, keep them behind the sticks. That way, they become even more. Well, they're going to have to throw the ball. Put them in positions to where they have to throw the ball.
10.5 minutes to go here as Warren County is backed up now, back to the 40-yard line. Elrod's going to hand it off straight up the middle again, and they're going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He's going to try and hand it off to the back, Eli Cantrell, but it is going to be stacked up again, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long here.
So that was a good job. This is the penetration right up the middle, as it was spearheaded there by, couldn't find the number for some reason. But I was spearhead in the middle, right in the middle. They recognized the play. Again, that was more of an option there from Elrod, and Elrod handed it off to Cantrell, and he had nowhere to go.
3rd and 10 here for the Pioneers with 9.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And that was Bryant Lawless on the tackle.
Elrod's got 3 wide receivers split out wide, and he's going to drop back to throw it. He's going to connect with his target on the near sideline. That's number 24 on the play, and they're going to get it out past the midfield marker, but I do not believe it's going to be enough for the first down. It's going to set up a 4th.
And right there, that was the pass completed to Braylon Grayson. So Elrod has only completed passes to 2 different receivers on the year. One of them being, Grayson, and the other one is, is Jason Pleasant.
4th down here for the Pioneers, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there on the field as Elrod is looking to the Pioneers sideline for the signal. Number 7 is going to come into the game. That's Harley Hernandez.
That looks like they are going to punt the ball. Hernandez is the punter for Warren County.
And it looks like Warren County is going to take a timeout here early as they had a little miscommunication trying to get the signal. And with the timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout here on our broadcast as well. We'll be right back. First quarter action with Siegel, Warren County. More here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. It's 4th down for the Pioneers, and we're going to see if they're going to go for it or if it's going to be a punt. And it is going to be a high snap for the punt, and they are going to fake it as they run it out to the left side, but he's going to be dropped at the 40-yard line of the Stars, where they're going to set up with great field position. Zach, that looked like a fake punt formation from the get-go.
And I think that was just a bad snap, a low snap to Hernandez there, and Hernandez gave up and wasn't able to punt the ball away. But again, so what you saw that last drive from Siegel is they were dominating the offensive and defensive line battle. They were getting the initial push. They were getting in the backfield before Warren County's play even developed. And that is what is crucial to Warren County's success, is the offensive line being able to out-physical the opponent. And right there, Siegel just dominated that line possession battle. 1st
and 10 for the Stars. It's going to be a handoff over to the near side, and it's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play to get inside the 40-yard line down to the 38-yard line. 6:45 to go here in the first quarter.
So right there, that was, that was number 8, Terrian Grant on the carry, just right up the middle. Corey Sims, number 9. Corey Sims right up the middle, and that was a good first down gain of 2 yards.
Corey Sims, the junior 200-pounder, lined up again behind Thomas Santel, the quarterback here for the Stars. 2nd and 8 to go. He gets it, and it's going to be another handoff to number 9. He's going to try and lower his shoulder and push ahead, and he's going to do just that to get out to about the 33-yard line. We'll call it a 3rd and short. It'll be about a 3rd down and 2.
And putting Sims right behind Thomas Santel, the quarterback, allows Sims to get ahead of Seam. I mean, when he hits that line of scrimmage, that means that he is getting 2 extra yards of ahead of steam. And again, Sims is a powerful running back.
Sims lined up in the backfield again, and they're going to give it right back to him. Nope, they're not. Santel's going to keep it on the quarterback draw, and he's going to walk right into the end zone for a Siegel Stars touchdown here early in the first quarter. They thought they had me fooled. They had that Warren County defense fooled. They thought they were handing it right back to Sims, and then Santel just keeps it, Zach. What did you see there?
Perfect read option play there from Siegel and a perfect time to call it. Warren County had all eyes there on Sims, and Santel made the intelligent and the smart read of putting it in the breadbasket of Sims and pulling it back, and then makes that one cut and then just outran everybody. No, untouched into the end zone there.
We talked about how important it was going to be for the Stars to jump out here to an early lead and to get momentum going in their favor early. They slowed down the Warren County run. They've already hit on 2 of those keys. They're off to a great first quarter, and their defense is being stout at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, they are, and as on your screen right there, that's A.J. Florence who kicked the extra point. But, yeah, so right now on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball, the line of scrimmage battle is something that we're going to have to key in on all game today, with Siegel coming out and running the ball 3 straight times early, and Warren County being that heavy run team that they are. They have to win that line of scrimmage battle, because if they lose that line of scrimmage battle, then this is going to be probably a runaway for Siegel. Because if you can't control line of scrimmage battle, then you're going to have to go into more of a passing offense. And again, if they go down 2-3 scores, you got to go away from that running game, which has been so great to start the year for Warren County.
The Stars jump out to an early 7-0 lead here with 7.5 to go here in the first quarter, as now Warren County will try again here on offense. They're going to try and get their offensive unit going and geared to more of that run game, see if they can be effective here. As here's the kick. It's going to be fielded right outside the 20-yard line, and he's going to cut it back upfield, and he's got a little bit of room out past the 30. And again, the special teams unit for Warren County proving effective, setting up their offense in good field position outside the 30-yard line, out to the 35.
Yeah, and that was a good job there. Kendrick Cox, again, he's doing a good job of recognizing the holes right now in the kick coverage unit and putting Warren County in a good possession and good spots.
They do like to hold on to the ball for extended periods of time, but starting out here with a little bit shorter of a field, that might be good for an offense that's been struggling a little bit in their first possession. We'll see if they settle in here on Siegel's homecoming night, though. This place is rowdy.
That's going to be a false start. Looks like that was on number – it looked like that could have very easily been on number 22 there, Jason Pleasant.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and just like that, that good field position is kind of starting to fall apart here for the Pioneers. They're backed up to the 31 now, where they'll try it again on first down.
And right there, that is a example of
taking the home crowd out of it.
Taking the home, bringing the home crowd into it. That was Siegel right there doing a good job, Siegel's crowd, of making that noise, and it was hard. And it looks like there was a little miscommunication between Pleasant.
Elrod's in the shotgun, and he's going to line up to throw on the far sideline. It's going to be overthrown and drop incomplete. It's going to be a 2nd down and 10 to go for the Pioneers.
And that was intended for Harley Hernandez. And right now, Siegel is forcing Warren County to do something that they are uncomfortable with, and that is throwing the football. They have not thrown it very effective on the year. Again, before this game, the quarterback was 3 of 13 on the year in completions. So with Warren County having to go to that right now, that pass-heavy offense, then, I mean, this is playing right in Siegel's hands.
2nd and long here for the Pioneers as they line up just outside the 30 at the 31-yard line. They're going to send a man in motion, fake the handoff, and Elrod's going to roll out to his left, throw across his body, and he's got a man who's going to lay out for it, but it's going to fall incomplete again. That was number 22 on the play, Braylon Grayson.
Yeah, so right there, Pleasant did a good job. Pleasant was wide open, and all they had to do was just toss it in for an easy pitch and catch. Wide open, has a whole sign to work with, but he just wasn't able to do it there. Elrod right now, he's a little off. His touch isn't there quite yet in this game.
Jathan Pleasant, you can see as he's back in the huddle already, he's already gotten down and dirty in this one. He's got some of that damp grass all over him. He's getting a little muddy early on here.
Yes, he is. But yeah, so that's a good. But Pleasant, he's showing effort. Again, they're giving the ball to Pleasant, and we saw the first time they gave it to Pleasant, he lowered his shoulder and he just kept those legs moving.
Let's see what the Siegel Stars defense can do here on 3rd down and long as we have a stoppage on the field.
That's a delay of game.
huge. So again, we see that Warren County is only moving backwards here on this drive right now, Zach. They have not been able to move the ball forward yet for outside of their first play, I believe, on that first.
After that first play. They got that first down, and ever since then, they have gone negative 22 yards backwards.
Negative 22 yards is what they'll need here if they want to try and pick up this first down, and they're going to be stacked up again.
And that flag is going to be for illegal shift, because there was 2 men in motion at the same time. And they're going to go ahead and they're just going to decline that. Illegal shift, yes.
And this is what we were talking about early on in our pregame. You were starting to see that Warren County offense, and on the defensive side as well, they've only played 2 games so far this year. Their first 2 weeks of football were taken away from them due to COVID and due to sickness. They were forced to forfeit those games. So you're kind of starting to see that back up on them, and Siegel looks very sound. They look like they're in week 5 of football here.
Yeah, they do, but again, Warren County, what they do best is controlling the football. They've had 2 drives so far, and I mean, they've had the ball 3-4 of those minutes, 3-4 of those 6 minutes. But again, it doesn't matter if you go down 14-0.
We saw the fake punt on the first offensive drive for the Pioneers. We'll see what happens here. It's another bobbled snap, and the Pioneers are going to fall on it, but it's not going to matter as Siegel will take over deep in their own territory down at just inside the 20-yard line, I believe.
That's back-to-back low snaps there. And if you're Hernandez, then you just have to go ahead and take a step in the next time. Catch it, and then 1 step and drop kick it. Instead of taking that back and then maybe potentially a 3-step, which if you have it low, it's going to get blocked anyway. So, again, just catch it, 1 step, and punt it away just to get it out of there.
So not at the 20-yard line. Siegel is actually at the 11-yard line where they'll start this short drive, and they're going to hand it off right up the middle again and get inside the 10 down to about the 7 after a gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter.
And right now, Sims is getting 2 to 3 yards every single carry. I mean, just keep giving it to him at this point. He's the workhorse, and he's done a great job so far this game.
2nd down and 6 for the Stars, as they look to capitalize here on these early mistakes by the Pioneers, and they are going to do just that as they're going to push the pile into the end zone for another Siegel Stars touchdown. It's 13-0 early here on homecoming night for Siegel.
7 minutes into the game, and Sims right there. He came down. There was one-on-one going downhill right at the Warren County defender, lowered his shoulder and just laid a hit stick on the defender, and was able to keep his feet moving. And the reinforcements came and pushed him in. Right now, they cannot stop Sims or Elrod.
That offensive line for the Stars has had a very big presence, as not only have we seen them push the pile when Sims has been running the ball, but also their quarterback as well. When Santel's kept the ball, we've seen them push the pile as well. And with that, it is now 14-0 in favor of the Stars here on homecoming night. And when we come back, Warren County will go at it again. It's 14-0 here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
A.J. Florence is lined up at the 40-yard line, ready to send it away. And this one's going to be fielded at the 22-yard line. And it's going to be brought out across the 30 down to about the 32-yard line before he's brought down. I believe that was number 4 on the play.
Cox.
Yes.
And right now, if you are Siegel coming back, no, excuse me, not Siegel, Warren County coming on the field, go back to what you've done so far this year. Run the ball. Just run it. I mean, you saw them try and throw the ball last possession after that false start, and it did not end well.
This is a big offensive possession here for the Pioneers as they are down early on the road. They need to establish some kind of presence. They need to at least pick up a couple first downs here just to kind of get the sticks moving.
They need to score is what they need to do. They need to get back and start controlling the tempo and slow this game down. A fast-paced game, it goes to Siegel's advantage right now.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. He's going to drop back to throw. He's got a man at the 36, and he's going to step out of bounds at the 37. We'll call it a gain of 5 on the play to set up a 2nd and 5. Good throw there by Elrod.
And that was to Grayson. Again, Grayson and Pleasant have been the 2 guys who have caught passes for Elrod this year. And that I actually like that. Get what you could, get the offense moving forward just a little bit, calm the nerves down, and now let's see if they can take that momentum and that first 5 yards and keep moving the ball, keep moving the sticks.
2nd and 5 here for the Pioneers with 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Lines up with 1 man in the backfield behind Elrod. He's going to hand it off to number 24, and he's going to go out to the far sideline, and he's across the 40, out to the 45, out to the 47-yard line before he's brought down for a first down for the Pioneers.
Yes, and right there, that was Braylon Grayson. He did a good job. There was 2 defenders on the outside waiting for him to get there, but he cut back inside of his last blocker, which was that C gap, and was able to get that first down. That's what you got to do if you're Warren County. You just keep running the ball. Keep going to what works best for you. Last drive, you threw the ball more times than you did last game in your win.
1st and 10 here for the Pioneers as Elrod takes the snap. He's going to fake the first handoff and give it to the 2nd man behind him, and he's going to get out across midfield and out across the 40-yard line where he's brought down at the 42 into Siegel Stars territory. 1st and 10 on the play.
And that was Pleasant. Every time you give Pleasant the ball, especially when you hand it off, we were talking about it earlier, 11.1 yards per carry.
That backfield of Pleasant and Grayson combined, and then also when Elrod just keeps it himself, they're a very dominant backfield.
And also, you can't forget about Cantrell. He does a good job as well. That lines up right behind in this wing T offense. They are doing a good job right now of getting back and slowing down the pace. This is where you start seeing mistakes happen on the defense. The longer they're out there, the more tired they get. 1st
and 10 for the Pioneers as Elrod's going to keep it. He's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to try and make something happen, but it's not going to happen at all as he's backed up and sacked at the 45-yard line for a loss of 3 on the play. That was number 11 for the Stars with the sack.
Yeah, so right there, what you saw was number 11, Bryant Lawless, come right up the middle and chase Elrod to the outside, forcing him out, and Elrod did it in the right in there for Siegel. I couldn't see the number. Did a good job of setting that edge and making sure that Elrod could not get to the outside. Caused Elrod to stop and then try to reverse his field, and standing right there was Bryant Lawless for the sack.
2nd and long here for the Pioneers as they're backed up after the sack. We'll call it a 2nd and 14 on the play. Elrod lines up again with 1 man behind him, but another one cutting across as that's number 22 again as he's going to bounce it back outside after the first hold didn't work, and then he's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. He's going to be a little bit slow to get up as well. Pleasant was brought down a little awkwardly as he was kind of tugged on from the back a little bit.
It's good seeing him get up, though.
He is going to get up, but he's hobbling a little bit.
So that was a really good seeing him get up there, because that was a very awkward fall. And especially those type of injuries, those type of plays, there's no telling what could happen.
But what a good run there by Pleasant as he that first hole that he tried to run through, it wasn't there, and then he bounces it outside. Kind of looked like a little CJ2K style right there.
Yeah, so right there he did a good job of getting what he could. And what that play did was it put him back kind of on schedule. Now you have a chance to run. If you get 3-4 yards here, you are at 4th and about 3 and you go for it, you can maybe throw the ball a little, or again just stay with that run. That run has been what has guided you to this point. Going away from it is not probably the smartest move to make right now.
Jathan Pleasant steps out of the game as he was brought down awkwardly on that 2nd down run. It'll be 3rd down for the Pioneers here, as they're going to hand it off to number 24, and he's going to run it right up the middle and have enough for the 1st down. He's going to get through the first wave of tackles, and he's going to be brought down inside the 30-yard line at this 28, where they'll have a Pioneers 1st down just outside the red zone.
So that was a 13-yard gain. That was about 15 yards after contact there. He was hit in the backfield. Braylon Grayson did a good job of lowering his shoulders and then saying, you know what, I'm not going down. I'm going to get this 1st down, and I'm going to keep moving these chains, and I'm going to keep the Siegel defense on the field. And this is what they do best. Warren County has, again, they've done a good job of slowing down the pace right now because Siegel had all the momentum. And now they're like, you know what, we're going to play this game on our terms.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers as number 4 is in motion. Elrod will fake the handoff, and he's going to look to air it out in the end zone, and it's going to be overthrown. Had a man in man-to-man coverage. He had he was looking for Harley Hernandez on that front left pylon.
And that was really, really, really great coverage there from Tracy Shaw as Hernandez. He did a good job of forcing Hernandez to the sideline on that post route. Excuse me, not post, but that corner route. But the only place that Elrod could throw it was where the throw was made to Hernandez. Shaw was on his back shoulder to make sure that nothing to the inside shoulder of Hernandez would be complete. It would have been intercepted. Again, great coverage, and Elrod made almost a perfect throw.
Elrod put it where only his receiver was going to be able to go up and get it, just not enough. Second down here for the Pioneers as he cuts it back and runs it right up the middle, getting inside the 25 to about the 21-yard line where he's brought down. And it'll be 3rd and short on the play.
Again, Braylon Grayson, he is just, as soon as that first man's coming, they're not bringing him down. He is he is forcing the initial contact. He is forcing the action.
About a 6-yard run from Grayson there on 2nd down, and that'll set up a 3rd and short with 2 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, again, and he's just lowering his shoulder and getting what he can after those 2-3 yards after those initial contact. Big 3rd down here.
We hear the defensive chant from the Siegel Stars crowd here as it's going to be a wide receiver screen, and he's going to stumble and then fall to the turf for no gain on the play, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Zach, they tried to set up the wide receiver screen there, but then he just stumbled and fell down to the ground.
Yeah, that was a wide receiver bubble screen to Keldrick Cox. And Cox, as you can actually see the dirt where his feet were right there in the bottom right of your screen, that is where he slipped, forcing now a 4th and medium, and they're going to have to go for it here. And actually, it looks like they may be kicking it.
We'll see what happens here on 4th down for the Pioneers. It's their first time in Stars territory. We'll see what they do here.
I can't see them kicking it here. They have got to score here. They have to score a touchdown
We're
here.
inside the 1-minute mark now here in the 1st quarter, and yes, it does look like Elrod's going to bring the offense back up to the line of scrimmage, and a timeout is going to be called on the play.
A delay of game? Never mind.
It is not going to be a timeout. There will be a delay of game before.
As you see Grayson right there talking to the Whitecap official for tonight. And he's pointing to that back judge. So what that back judge does is he does a signal of more of like a clock. So once it gets to within 10 seconds, he starts bringing his arm down like the hand of a clock.
The Pioneers offense is still going to go for it here on 4th down, though, as pressure comes from the right side of Elrod, and he's going to be brought down hard for a loss of about 10 yards on the play, and now the Stars will get the ball back at the 30-yard line.
And that was Holden Locum, came right off that edge, unblocked, and a big stop now for Siegel. The Siegel defense got off the field, and they did what they needed to and get this red-hot offense back onto the field for a chance to go up 3 scores.
They're actually going to be at the 37-yard line to start this drive. And yes, Zach, the red-hot offense that had in both their first 2 drives have scored touchdowns. This Warren County defense does not know what's coming at them right now. 1st and 10 here for the Stars offense. They're going to It's going to be a
That's
quarterback
fumble.
keeper, and it's going to be fumbled on the play. And it looks like Warren County is going to be all over it as multiple Pioneers fall on top of the ball.
And they have it.
And the Pioneers do take the ball right back. So what a huge momentum swing for this defense, who we were just talking about, did not have the number for the Stars. They make a huge play there and get their offense the ball back.
So, yes, right there, that was a good job of that Warren County defense. They did what they had to do. They forced that turnover when it looked like Siegel was about to have a chance to go down and score to go up by 3. So what they did there is there was 2 defenders who surrounded the quarterback, and one defender went low for the tackle, and the other came and punched at the ball. And that is what caused the ball to come out. And then there was 3 Warren County guys, and they fell right on top of it. And now Warren County, you get your second chance to bring the score within one game within 1 score.
First and 10 for the Pioneers here, as there's going to be a flag on the play, and
another
Elrod is
shift.
going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2 as it stands right now.
That's another illegal shift.
Illegal shift on the offense. Zach, what is Warren County doing? We've seen this multiple times now. What's actually happening on these illegal shifts?
So what's happening is you're looking at Pleasant. He is moving before the snap is snapped. So I think they're going to decline this penalty, yes, because they got the negative 3 yards, 4 yards. But there cannot be 2 people in motion at the. We had a beautiful picture right there. But
our producer is sitting right next to us, and he just looked up at the screen and was like, "Oh my goodness."
But yeah,
that's our Houston Chapman shout out for the night here as the Warren County Pioneers back here on first down. They'll replay first down here. There's going to be a handoff to the left-hand side.
It's almost
working from left to right. Number 9 will get it out, about a gain of 3 on the play at the 36-yard line. 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
It's almost Spooktober. It's almost there.
We're just about there. No better kickoff than that.
Came from out of nowhere. But again, good stop there by the Siegel defense, pursuing and taking him down after a gain of a minimal. But again, so what is happening right now is Warren County's offense, they keep going backwards because they'll have, either Grayson roll behind the running back, go in much behind the running back, and when that happens, you see Pleasant get really, really anxious at the snap, and his feet start to move, and that is what causes that illegal shift.
So it'll be Warren County football when we start in the second quarter, but that's going to wrap things up for us here in the first quarter of play. The Siegel Stars here on homecoming night hold a 14-0 lead over the Pioneers. We'll be back with more on the NFHS Network after this.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
Oh! I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Seth Tackett. Seth, what do you got for us? And we'll hear from Seth later on in this one as the Pioneers are set to go here on second down here in the second quarter to kick things off.
Haven't seen this formation yet this game. Is that going to be another delay of game?
It's either going to be a delay of game or an illegal shift. We'll see what we get. I don't see the flag down yet.
It is a delay of game.
Oh, so it is a delay of game.
Yeah, so it is a delay of game. And you can't have that.
We're not seeing a lot of animated looks from the Warren County sideline here. It's almost as if they're surprised every time they get this call. I don't know if they're having trouble seeing it on the clock or what the deal is. But
well, no, you have to look at that back judge. That back judge is giving them signals. They have to realize where he is.
Third down and long here for the Pioneers as Elrod is going to be brought down hard at the line of scrimmage. And this Siegel Stars defense, as you can see, is fired up and excited about their homecoming night here tonight.
Jalen Thompson right there came in and laid the hit stick down on Elrod. And he is still, look at him, he's still animated. He's excited about that.
He is excited, and he'll be back to return the kick here on fourth down as well. So he's definitely dangerous, and we'll see how special he is on the special teams unit here in this one. The Pioneers set to punt here. They're inside the 40-yard line. They could pin the Stars back deep here with a good punt. We'll see what they get. The punt is up and away. And it is going to roll all the way down to the 1-yard line where the Pioneer defender there looked like he had to go on the spin cycle for a second to find the ball, but then eventually does find it right at the 1-yard line. So great punt there and great execution from the punt team.
You can't pin him any deeper than that. Good job of the kick coverage there. Good job getting down there and getting to the ball and spun that.
And now let's kick it to Seth Tackett here on the sideline.
Here at the end of the first quarter, Siegel with a strong start leading 14-0. Their coach's message to the players on the sideline, stay disciplined, stay to the plan, still a lot of football left. Warren County coaches telling their players to stay physical, but also to clean up those penalties. A lot of early penalties on Warren County. Just trying to tell them to get that cleaned up. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Seth. Glad to have Seth Tackett here tonight, filling in for Abigail Martin, our usual sideline reporter.
Definitely. Yeah,
he's looking sharp down there on the sideline, and I'd expect nothing less.
Of course, of course. Well-dressed man.
Absolutely.
Got the beard and everything.
Yeah, Siegel just coming off the timeout here. They're going to start out deep. It's going to be first down for the Stars at the 1-yard line.
So during that timeout, you saw Siegel call their timeout. So, again, now both teams are down to their 2 timeouts to go in the first half. Let's see. Let's see what Warren County can do. Can this defense
The Stars coming off of that fumble in their own territory set Warren County up pretty well.
Other than that fumble, Siegel's offense has done a good job of moving up and down the field, and their line has done a good job of getting that initial push.
And they've been doing a great job of doing it in a hurry as well. We've seen Warren County kind of slow it down, but the Stars have been anything but slow, as it's going to be a huge gain here on first down out across the 10-yard line to the 12 for number 9 on the Stars.
Just keep giving it to Sims time after time. They can't stop it right now. But Donathan Lewis right there from Warren County, if he wasn't there, we almost saw a 99-yard touchdown run. Lewis did a good job of making that contact and bringing him down. But this Siegel offense, other than that fumble, has gotten anything they wanted to all night.
And it looks like Jackson Brewer is in at the quarterback spot here for the Stars on first down, as he's going to be a short gain of about 2 going back to Sims there. It'll be a second down and 8 with 10:19 to go here in the second quarter.
And that's okay. That's a good first down gain. You didn't get
Stay on the chains.
Yeah, so you're staying ahead of the chains there. But, like, I mean, if you're Siegel, you're doing a good job of just getting that initial push, and you're not going to get 5, 6, 7 yards every single carry. I mean, that's just not going to happen. That's not realistic. No matter what level of ball you're playing, that's not going to happen. But
Thomas Antel here back in the quarterback spot. 2nd down and 8 to go as he's going to hand it off to Sims again, who's going to cut it back, and he's going to have some room to go. And he's got nothing but green grass in front of him as he's at the 50-yard line down to the 40 where they will finally catch him. But, wow, what a huge 50-yard gain on the play by Sims as he looked like he was going left at first and then cuts it back, goes right, change of direction, change of pace here for the Warren County defense. Huge 50-yard gain.
Yes, so we were talking about at the beginning of the game, the line of scrimmage battle, who's going to win it. Whoever wins that line of scrimmage battle will win this game, and that's Siegel right now. Did you see that big hole open up right in that B gap? I mean,
I don't know how you could have missed it.
I mean,
I feel like I could have made that cut.
Sims did a good job of making the cut, but it took him 50 yards before Grayson finally brought him down.
Santel's going to hand it off to number 26 here on the Stars. That's KJ Lewis, as he's going to have a gain of about 5 to get down to the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 6 to go.
So, again, Lewis right there, another big hole created by that Siegel offensive line. I mean, just keep running it down Warren County's throats right now. They can't stop it.
KJ Lewis, the 6-foot, 210-pound senior, getting his first carry of the game. As this time Christian Fletcher is lined up behind the quarterback as he's going to get his first carry of the game. And he's going to move with some speed all the way down inside the 30-yard line, down past the 25. They're going to mark him down at the 21 for another first down gain for the Stars. And again, Zach, we see these different changes of pace. The Warren County Pioneers moving with a little bit of a slow tempo. The Stars, though, moving with speed.
And why not if you're Siegel? Why wouldn't you move with pace? You're getting anything you want to right now on the offensive side of the ball. The holes are getting bigger and bigger every single time you run no huddle. So if you didn't run no huddle there, then I mean, you've just got to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job of getting that initial push.
Sims got some gas back in the tank as he is going to get the ball here on first down for the Stars as he's going to move up inside the 20-yard line to about the 18, a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 to go with 7.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And that was a good job of the pursuit by the Warren County defense. Right there, his initial going to that left side, the left toss wasn't there. So he stopped and tried to cut it back inside, and what was waiting on Sims was 3, 4, 5 Warren County defenders who were able to take him down.
Staying ahead of the chains, though, is the Siegel offense, and Sims is going to get it again, and he's going to be close to a first down. If he doesn't have it, he's going to be down at about the 13-yard line. Yes, it'll be a 3rd down and short on the play. A little extracurricular, a little chippiness there after that one there on that shot, but
Terrence Carpenter, he just finished his block, and then the Warren County guy went down, and when he went down, he grabbed Carpenter's arm. And it caused, and it was forceful grab. It forced Carpenter to the ground, but there's nothing there. 3rd and short. Can Warren County's defense get off the field?
Santel changes the play at the line of scrimmage here as he's got Sims behind him once again. 3rd down and short, and they're going to give it right to Sims, and he's going to have enough for the first down and a little bit more as he is not going down without a fight as he's down at about the 5-yard line. Call him down at the 6 for a first down for the Siegel Stars.
I mean, Sims, he keeps getting 6, 7, 8-yard carries every single time. I mean, as he's coming off the field, a very, 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 very well-deserved rest coming up right here for Sims.
But as we saw earlier on this drive, the Stars have quite the inventory of backs in their backfield. They are a threat to run the ball no matter who's in the game, as now number 33, that's Christian Fletcher, he lines up in the backfield behind
and just give
Santel
it to him.
this
just
time.
Give it to
yes.
Christian Fletcher.
And they are going to do just that, let him run right up the middle, and he is a man of many talents, but speed being the number 1 as he's going to run it in and in a hurry for a Siegel Stars touchdown. It's going to be 20-0 here for the Stars.
So right there, what Fletcher did was he got stood up at the goal line, but he just kept going and going. As you see the excitement on the sideline there from Siegel Stars because he was stopped. He was stopped dead in the water, and there was 3 Warren County guys. But we talked about earlier who wants it more. Whoever wants it more is going to win this game, and that's what you just saw. You saw Fletcher right there lower his shoulder and just keep his legs moving.
A.J. Florence kick is up, and it is good. It is 21-0 for the Stars here with 5.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And with that, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more second quarter action here on homecoming night at Siegel High School with Warren County and the Siegel Stars on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, You could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got immediate pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4,
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. Siegel has been anything but slow in this one as they have moved and moved with speed as halfway through the second quarter. They're already out to a 21-0 lead as we have a flag on the kickoff.
It's probably being offsides on the kicking team.
And it was just that, offsides on Siegel. So we'll do it again from 10 yards further back as they'll re-kick from what will be the 30-yard line, I believe. Either the 30 or the 35.
35.
Be a 5-yard penalty on the play, so they'll kick it from the 35 this time. If Warren County has one thing going for them right now, it is their special teams unit. They have been able to set up their offense in great field position on just about every drive, and then on that last possession, they made Siegel run the distance of the field, 99-yard drive there, but Siegel answered, and they answered with all three of their running backs in a lot of different formations.
Yeah, so right now the offensive and defensive line of Siegel is just winning. They're just winning the battles.
There's another Siegel kickoff. It is going to be a short kick on the play as the Stars are going to be all over that short kick, though. And while it is going to be fielded at the 40, he's going to be tackled and brought down at about the 37. Huge hit there from number 5 on the Stars.
That was Tracy Shaw and someone else that was in on the tackle, Elliot Tenpenny. I mean, there's no other words. They crushed them right there. That was a big hit.
They absolutely did, and it sounded like at first the breath was taken out of the stadium here because it was like, oh, it's a short kick. But then when they saw the hit, this Stars crowd here at Siegel High School went crazy for the huge hit from number 5.
Yeah, so they've done a good job Siegel's done a good job of keeping the crowd into it throughout this game so far.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line as Elrod's going to hand it off to his back, and he is going to be hit in the air and dropped out of bounds.
And it looks like they're going to call a holding, and it looks like that's going to be on Cox. I don't really like that one because it looks like the Seagulls guy, had his hands inside. Yeah, he had his hands inside of the shoulder pads right there. Looks like that was some really good blocking on the outside.
It can be hard to see the hand placement there on the O-line. But, yes, we will get a holding call on the Warren County offense here as they'll replay first down. They'll replay first down from the 33-yard line here of Warren County. As Elrod sends a man in motion and then is just going to hand it up right up the middle, and it's going to be falling on.
That's going to be Siegel's ball.
And yes, Siegel does come up with the ball, as is another turnover here. Excuse me, the first turnover here from the Pioneers. But wow.
Connor Milhorn just picked it up. It looked like Milhorn may have been the one that forced it. He punched the ball
all over that play,
He punched the ball out from behind, and it went up, and it hit off a Siegel defender, and Milhorn on the ground just dove on top of it. Actually, he got up, and if his knee wasn't down, almost had a 37-yard touchdown fumble recovery. Everything's going Siegel's way right now, and they deserve it of how they've dominated the front seven.
We'll see if they go back to the running game here, and they do just that, as Sims just is going to plow it ahead again, and he's down at the 35-yard line for a short gain on the play.
So right now, Warren County's doing a good job of forcing the first down runs from Siegel to go 2-3 yards. But what's killing him is the second down runs. The second down runs have been, last drive was of 10, was of 12, was of 17. I mean, they were just, like when on second down, when they run the ball, they're getting big chunks.
2nd and 8 here for the Stars, as they're going to go right back to Sims here on second down. And it's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be a 3rd and about 5 here at the 5-minute 45-second mark here in the second quarter.
Again, so big third down here from Warren County's defense. They have got to get a stop. They cannot go down 4 scores with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, because then you're in very, very dangerous territory, because you run an offense where where possessions are limited as it is.
Brewer's going to hand it off to Sims again here, who's going to run it straight ahead, and he's going to be just short of the first down marker. We'll see where they place it at, but from this spot it looks like it'll be at the 28-yard line, and he needed the 27 on that one, so it'll be 4th down and inches as the Stars field goal unit takes the field.
It looks like they're going to try and go up the – no, I don't think that's their field goal unit. That's the second string quarterback.
It is, in fact, and he's going to bobble the snap and hand it to Sims again. And he's going to run it right up the middle again, and that was another odd formation. I thought they were kicking it all the way up until the snap, but then you see more of the same. Sims running it right up the middle for another Stars first down.
I mean, we all know what the game plan is right now. Give it to Sims and see, and just.
I don't know why I was so surprised on that one.
Give him 6, 7, 8 yards per carry. I mean, Warren County has no answer for it right now. This offensive line, we keep talking about, we keep harping on it. The offensive line of Siegel has done a good job of, controlling.
Jackson Brewer is going to hand it off to Christian Fletcher, who's going to have a short gain on the play just inside the 20 out to the 19-yard line. It'll be second down for the Stars here with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
That was barely a yard gain. 2 yard gains on there. So, again, Warren County, they have got to get off the field. They have to get off the field. They cannot allow a touchdown here. Inside the 20, this is where you find out who you are as a team.
And they're already showing signs of fatigue here as they have been on the field all night long, and that's something that this Warren County defense is not used to, as Fletcher is going to hand it off. As Fletcher is going to get the handoff again and have another gain of about 5 or 6 yards and going to get it out to the 10-yard line.
And what you're seeing is it affect the offense as well for Warren County. A lot of Warren County's players, they are two-way players. They play on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. The difference between the Warren County Seagull right now is Seagull's offense has been on the field long enough, and they have enough guys where they throw out other defenders. So the defense is well rested.
And the Stars are going to run it right up the middle again.
Fletcher.
And it's Fletcher, number 33, running it right up the middle for a gain of about 7 on the play. And he's going to get it down inside the 3 to about the 2-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for the Seagull Stars.
Again, Seagull just getting anything they want to right up the middle. Seagull just dominating that line of scrimmage. I keep talking about it, but that's because that's the biggest. Again, we talked about how that being the biggest point of emphasis this game. The winner of the line of scrimmage is going to win this game. And they are dominating this game because they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Jackson Brewer is going to hand it off to Sims here on 1st and goal, as he's going to rock it straight in for another Seagull Stars touchdown to put them up 27-0 here with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I mean, that hole through that B gap was wide open. There was 2-3 players that could have fit through there. Sims picked the right one, didn't get touched. Easy touchdown.
Easy touchdown indeed for the Seagull Stars as they look to get the extra point here. A.J. Florence is on for the kick, as it's going to be right up the uprights. Beautiful shot there from our MTN videographer. And it's going to be 28-0. 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter as Seagull is running away with this one. We'll be back with more on the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network, as Seagull on 5 drives, they've had 4 touchdowns, 1 ending with a fumble, but on 4 of their 5 drives, Zach, so far to start out in the first half, they've had 4 touchdowns. Dominant early on, to say the least, as the kick is fielded at the 8-yard line, and it's going to be brought out to about the 19 to the 20-yard line, where Warren County will start their drive, as the Stars are just all over the Pioneers right now.
The energy and the momentum is making its way down to the Seagull Stars players. You're seeing them, they're jumping up and down in between plays. They're getting back to the line of scrimmage quick. The defense is ready. They were ready to go out there. They were ready to play. They're well rested. And you look at the Warren County offense, they just look exhausted.
They look exhausted indeed, but we were talking about this. We were talking about this in the pregame a little bit, and it was important for the Stars to come out and get that early lead, but what is the Warren County coaches telling their offensive guys right now, going back out here with 2 minutes to go, or 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter?
Well, guys, we have got to score before half. We cannot go, because Seagull gets the ball to start the second half, and there's a chance that they start running the clock on us if we don't score here.
A short gain here on 1st down. We'll call it about a 4-yard gain on the play to set up a 2nd and 6 with 2:56 to go here in the second quarter.
And right now, the game is coming down to Seagull wants it more. You look at Warren County, and it was just like Warren County was like, they really, they wanted it at the beginning of the game, and then Seagull punched them in the mouth. and then you saw Siegel just keep punching Warren County in the mouth. This is where if you're Warren County, you have got to get up and you have got to score. You've got to say, hey, we're not out of it just yet. We're not going home without a fight. Again, physical football teams, this is where you stand up and this is where you start. You show how physical of a team you actually are.
Elrod takes the snap from under center, and they're going to try and pound it straight ahead. It's going to be a short gain on the play out to about the 27-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down for the Pioneers once again here. And there you see number 28 for the Stars. That's Braden Kaiser, the senior, 6'3", 225-pound defender, making his presence known here in the second quarter.
Definitely. Now, here comes that 3rd down, and at the pace that Warren County is moving, they're not going to be able to score a touchdown before the half. I mean, they're taking 20, 30 seconds between each play. Again, this is not a big play type of offense, but they're going to need one of those to get before half.
And it looks like the Stars are going to bring pressure as the Pioneers try and get another short gain here on the run to the left-hand side, and they'll get it out to the 31-yard line. Will that be enough for the first down? No, it is not. It's a 4th down again for the Pioneers.
Now, are they going to go for it?
I think they have to here.
I think you're right. They're going to stop the clock. There's a timeout for a measurement. Yes, there's going to be a timeout for a measurement.
It's going to be an official's timeout, and they will back the defenders off the line here as they go to measure. I knew it was a little bit closer than we anticipated, but we'll see how close.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be really close, like inches, like index card close.
Here comes the chained crew. They'll walk it out, and from here, it's looking like it's going to be very close.
It's going to be short. It's going to be maybe a yard. Oh, no.
And they are going to have enough for the first down here by about the nose of the football.
That was very interesting. I have never seen the back guy from the chain gain stretch out backwards. I mean, it was still first down. He got about half the ball for a first down. But the chain gain, they stretched it, looked like the wrong way. But, I mean, a first down's a first down. So
first down's a first down, and the Pioneers will take it here with a minute to go here in the second quarter. And they're going to need a lot to go their way just to get on the board here before the half.
Yeah, now the clock is running, so they've got to get the play started.
1st and 10, and they're going to run it up the right side, and there he goes. That's number 24 for the Pioneers, and he's out across the 30, out across the 20, and he's going to cut it back up, and he's going to be brought down, right at the 25-yard line of the Siegel Stars. Huge play there for the Pioneers. It's their first big explosive run of the game.
That right there, that's Braylon Grayson. He's done a good job. Those first 2 drives, he got 15, he got 20 yards on a couple of carries, but then he just got really, really slowed down. The offenses, they went away from the run, and now they're going back to the run, and it's paying dividends.
1st and 10 here for the Pioneers as they're going to hand it off again to Grayson, and he's going to go straight up the middle and have a gain of about 15 on the play to get down to the 5 inside the 4. And it'll be another 1st and goal for the Pioneers. Another first down, but it will be 1st and goal here for the Pioneers for the first time tonight.
Is there going to be a timeout? Yes, there's going to be a timeout from Siegel. Just slow down Warren County's momentum.
Back-to-back explosive plays here for
Braylon
the
Grayson.
Pioneers. Yes, Braylon Grayson. We knew that he was going to be a force if he could get going early. And it is a little late here in the first half for him to get going, but they will take it nonetheless as he's looking for momentum to carry into the second half of this one.
Yes, he is, and they're starting to get that initial push. They're starting to get 15, 16 yards to carry, and that is what their offense is. They break you down in the first half, and the hole will start opening up in the second half. So Warren County, the possessions may be limited, but if their defense can stand up in the second half, they still aren't completely out of it with a touchdown here. There's still some hope.
It'll be 1st and goal from about the 4-yard line here for the Pioneers. As we see the coach's huddle over there, he's saying, guys, we have to go in here and score, and we can at least take a little bit of momentum into the half with us.
Well, I mean, again, physical teams and hard-nosed running football teams like Warren County is, I mean, they're not going to be out of the game, because once they start realizing that, hey, this is what we're going to do. Like we saw last week, once Stewart's Creek started settling down and they're like, you know what, we're going to pound the rock. And when they did that, that's when their offense took off. And you're starting to see that right now with
first and goal here for the Pioneers as they try and push the pile ahead, and it looks like they'll get a gain of about 2 on the play as it'll be marked down at the 3-yard line.
And there was a timeout, as it looks like there is going to be, it's going to be about
a timeout for Warren County just inside 15 seconds to go here in the first half. And, Zach, we were talking about this earlier as well. With the Pioneers being so successful at managing the clock and holding on to the ball, that also means that their defense has been getting off the field in their previous matchups. They haven't been able to do that in the first half, but if they can come out here and own the time management category of this game here in the second half, this is far from over if they score here.
Yeah, it is, but they're going to have to start getting quick strike after quick strike, because Seagulls' offense is on fire right now. It's tough to keep a Seagulls Stars offense quiet for a whole second half, but that's exactly what they're going to have to do if they want to come back and win this football game.
That is exactly what they're going to have to do. Is they haven't been able to do that through the first half of this one, but we'll see what happens here. It's second down and goal for the Pioneers for the first time tonight with 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Warren County now down to their last timeout. The Stars have 1 timeout remaining as well. You're watching the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. It's the Pioneers of Warren County and the Siegel Stars, as Elrod lines up with 1 man behind him, and they're coming out with that diamond look as they've got 2 guys behind the line as he's going to walk. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Elrod, and he's going to get into the end zone for the first Pioneers touchdown of the night. Elrod on the keeper there.
They needed that. They had to have that. No doubt about it. Elrod did a good job. Honestly, if he even handed it off there to Grayson, that would have been a touchdown. They did a good job. That play design was just great.
That's exactly what I thought they did. I thought they handed it off there to Grayson. I didn't realize Elrod had kept it until a couple seconds later, but then, yes, it looked like they got the best of both worlds on that one.
Yeah, so Elrod did a good job of lowering his shoulder and getting in, and that's the score. Maybe that gives them a little bit of momentum going into the second half.
Beckham Scott on for the extra point. Snap, hold, and it is up, and it's going to be well short, and it looked like the snap was mishandled there from the placeholder of the Pioneers, as the score will remain 6-28 in favor of the Siegel Stars. And with that stop on the field, we will take a stop in our broadcast as well. We'll be right back with the conclusion of the first half here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network. It's the Warren County Pioneers and the Siegel Stars. Here we're getting ready to wrap up the first half of action. 10 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. 1 timeout left for each side. Zach, I think we're just about to see Siegel get the ball back, take a knee, and take this lead into the half. They're loving this homecoming night lead that they've got here.
And the music is even better. I mean, it's getting me excited for the second half as well.
Absolutely. I'm excited for another homecoming celebration here at the halftime break, as the kick is up and away, and the Stars will field it at the inside the 10-yard line, and he's going to try and run this one back as he's got a little bit of room down the near sideline. And now with 4 seconds to go here for the Stars, you're kind of tempted to try and go for something
Hail Mary.
Here. Just send a shot to the end zone if you're.
No, that was half, so it looked like that.
And that is actually going to run it into the break. Unfortunately, that took a little bit longer than anticipated there on the Stars' return. But that's going to take us to halftime here as the Siegel Stars hold a 28-6 lead over the Warren County Pioneers. Zach, what did you see there in the first half of action?
So right there, in the first half, Siegel did a good job of dominating that line of scrimmage. We talked about it multiple times throughout the first half. It's just that line of scrimmage was a focal point, and you could tell early on that Siegel was bringing it to Warren County. They were getting 4, 5, 6 yards of a push to start it. And I mean, when you're Siegel and you're that running type of offense, that is exactly what you want. You want to get that push. And those gaps that Siegel's creating, they're 3, 4, 5. I mean, people could run through it. That's just how big that gap has been.
And we saw that late push by the Pioneers offense here in the second quarter. But honestly, other than that one drive, it's been all stars all night long here on homecoming night, both on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. They've just been dominant through and through.
Well, Warren County has done a good job of forcing turnovers, but they've only been able to capitalize on one of those turnovers. So if they keep forcing turnovers in this second half, they are going to have to start capitalizing on those. If you can't force a turnover like that, especially in the situations that they have, and come away with 0 points.
We keep coming back to this point, but the Stars coming into this game, the Warren County Pioneers, we talked about how they like to run and run and run and run the clock and run the clock and run the clock. They have not been able to do that here. They've been having to change their game up, having to show a little bit more of a dynamic offense. But we did see there in that drive, when they do run it well, they are able to take control of this game and in a hurry. Do you think we'll see more of that in the second half, or do you think this is going to be all stars through the second half?
I mean, it just depends on what Siegel comes down to do. If the first drive they go down, they score 6 points, and they're going to have to start throwing the ball. There's not enough time to just keep doing what they have been doing, which is control the tempo, control the pace of the game. The first 2 games that they've played this year, that's what they've done. And I mean, honestly, it's worked, but it's not working tonight, so they're going to have to figure something else out.
The Stars have had 2 quarterbacks in the game so far, number 10 and number 14, and then they've also had the 3 backs in the backfield, the 3-headed monster, if you will, that has been dominant to say the least for the Stars. They've just been running it all over this Warren County defense here, and it's been a huge momentum swing for the Stars.
Yes, it starts with Sims. Sims is getting on the first down back. He's getting 3, 4, 5 yards, and he's keeping the Siegel offense ahead of the chain. So you're getting in positions to where you don't know if they're going to throw the ball or run the ball. But again, they've ran the ball the whole first half, so why would they go away from it? Because it's working, obviously. But that's what they're doing. They're keeping the defense on their toes. They know it's coming, but they have to respect that pass game because they're not behind the chains. They are 2-dimensional right now, and it's hard for Warren County to stop.
We'll be back with more second half action here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
so many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to halftime coverage here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network. It's Siegel over the Warren County Pioneers right now with a 28-6 lead. Homecoming festivities going on here at Siegel High School. And Zach, with that, we're going to send it down to Seth, who's got a sideline report for us at halftime.
Warren County got on the board finally there at the end of the first half. Message from the coaches to the players: stay on task, stay focused. A lot of football left. For Siegel, their message, their players, same thing. Stay focused, but for a different reason. They need to hold that lead. Don't get complacent. Still a lot of football left. Back to you guys.
And we're back here. Thank you so much for joining us here in the broadcast booth. I'm Noah Brady, joined by Zachary Lone. We're ready to bring you the second half here of the Siegel Stars and the Warren County Pioneers. Siegel with the lead here on homecoming night. And Zach, what are some of your takeaways from the first half? I mean, what does Warren County have to do here to try and bring this game back to level? I mean, and what are the Stars doing well?
They have to forget what happened that first half of your Warren County. That first half could, if it went wrong, if it could have went wrong, it went wrong that first half. They were lost the line of scrimmage battle. They lost every single battle. As we're going to kick it away.
As the Stars will field this kick, and it'll be bobbled but then picked up at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be returned to about the 22-yard line. A short return on the play after and that's where the Stars are going to start at.
So what Warren County needs to do is they need to force that a 3-and-out right here. They cannot afford to give Siegel another touchdown. That means they would be down 29 points. You cannot go down 29 points in the second half and expect to come back and win a football game.
A 22-point deficit is enough for the Warren County Pioneers to try and overcome here in the third quarter, as the Stars will have the ball first. It's going to be a handoff to guess who?
Sims.
It's Corey Sims with the gain of about 6 on the play to get him out to the 27-yard line. It'll be about second down and 3 to go with 11:45 to go here, just getting started here in the third quarter of action.
And again, there it is, another big first down game from Sims. We've seen this all game. Just give Sims the ball on first down, see him get 5, 6, 7 yards, bring in Sims again, run him up the middle, then bring in Fletcher and have Fletcher run it. It's just time after time, you know what's coming, and Warren County just can't stop it right now.
Second down, and they're going to go right back to Sims here as he's going to get out to the 35-yard line before he's brought down, and it'll be a first down for the Siegel Stars.
And there it is again. They just keep handing it to him. Sims is he's well rested at halftime. Warren County, they have to get this initial push here. They need to stop Siegel in the backfield for a loss. They haven't been able to do that all game.
And if you're Siegel here, just slow the game down and run it with you don't have to get in any kind of hurry here. You've got the three possessions lead here, and then also your run game is proving to be dominant here early on again in the second half, as we see a short run there by Sims once again.
That was no game, but that's what Warren County needed. But like you're talking about, just take your time. I mean, but Siegel is more comfortable in that hurry-up type of offense. So if they can run hurry-up if they want to. They don't have to start slowing down their tempo just yet. That's going to be an offsides. What a cadence count there.
Offsides by the Warren County defense, and that's going to be enough to give Siegel the first down here.
So sometimes you hear the officials in the NFL talk about false start, everyone but the center. That was offsides on the whole defensive line. Everybody moved.
The entirety of the defensive line Thomas Santel just threw them all off there on that second down snap.
Yeah,
that'll be first and 10 for the Stars here on the 43-yard line, as they're going to hand it to Sims again and get him out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line after a gain of 3. It'll be second and 7, 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter of action.
Another first down. Just keep giving it to Sims. Keep giving him the ball. Why wouldn't you right now? He's just dominating.
An offensive force to be reckoned with is Corey Sims. As we've seen the 5'10", 200-pound junior take over early on in this one, and he's going to look to do more of the same here on second down and long, as he is going to push the pile ahead past the midfield mark out into enemy territory now in the 48-yard line. It'll be close to a first down.
Another big first down carry there from Sims. And you just look at, and I think they're trying to out Sims, give him a break, but Sims keeps looking at that sign and say, I'm good, just keep giving me the ball.
He's ready to pad those stats a little bit more.
Well, it's not padding the stats, it's just he's dominating. It's like you don't take out a hot shooter in basketball.
Absolutely not. No, you build your lead. And they're going to give it to him again here on second down, and he's going to run it way into Warren County territory now as he's across the 35 down to about the 30-yard line before he's brought down. That was about a 18-yard gain on the play. Sims just taking over, and now we'll see him get subbed out of this one after that big gain.
Yeah, that one, Fletcher is going to come in, and guess what they're going to do?
They're going to run the ball straight ahead again.
Probably going to hand off to Fletcher, or
yep, that's who will be in the backfield for this one, Christian Fletcher.
Or maybe they do a play-action pass.
And they're going to hand it right to Fletcher. Just keep doing more of the same to this Warren County defense as he's across the 30-yard line, down at about the 28.
What we saw in the first half, we were seeing on this opening drive from Siegel. Just big holes, running backs finding the right holes, and just getting 6-7 yards a carry. Warren County has had no answer for that all night, and it's showing in the scoreline right now.
And there you see the Stars coaching staff head down, and they are just ready for more of the same from their offense as they have liked what they've seen so far. As Fletcher's going to get it again here on second down, and he's going to be brought down for no gain on the play. It'll be second down and 8 to go here on the 28-yard line.
So right there, you saw number 11, Nathan Elrod, the quarterback, come off the left side of the offensive line from his right end position, unblocked, got into the backfield, and took the running back down for a loss. Now here comes a third and about 3 or 4, and they have to get, if you're Warren County, you have to get off the field right now.
Have to get off the field indeed, as they need the break. They need the rest here. They just come back off the halftime break, but they already look gassed as they are letting the Stars pound the rock against them. It's been a drive of straight-up runs all night, as that time Thomas Santel tries to keep it on the fake handoff, and he's going to go nowhere on the play to set up a fourth down for the Siegel Stars.
Drayton Dixon, Colin Panter, and Eli Cantrell all were right there, and they were in the backfield as soon as Elrod decided to not hand it off to Sims there and decided to tuck it and run it up the middle, see what he had. They were right there, and they took Elrod down for a loss of 5 on the play. Brings up a big 4th and 8 now.
Big 4th and 8 indeed, as the Stars will go for it here.
Can they get off the field? Big question of the night. Warren County has not been able to get off the field in these situations. If they want to come back in this game, they need to get off the field right here.
Santel's going to take the snap, and he's going to look to air it out. And he's going to have his man at the 25 down to the 23-yard line for another Stars first down. That was number 8 on the play for the Stars. That was Terry and Grant making his first reception of the night.
So what does that first down do? It winds that clock, as they have had the ball literally, if you're just
over
turning
half
in,
of the third quarter.
They've had the ball this whole third quarter. Siegel has just dominated time of possession this game, which Warren County usually does. Siegel has flipped the script on Warren County tonight.
And guess who's back in the game? It's Corey Sims, as he's going to get the handoff here on first down and run straight up the middle through Warren County defenders, out past the 20, out past the 15, and he cannot be brought down as he's down to the 14-yard line for a huge first down gain.
You saw the defender there hanging on to him for dear life, and he just kept running. He just kept moving those legs, and I mean, he's tough to bring down. I would love to see his height. He is 5'10" of full muscle, 200 pounds. That's his full muscle. And you're seeing it. He's a bruiser.
Thomas Santel leading this offense with ease right now.
It's
just more of the same. Just snap, and hand it off unless it's a 4th down and 8 and you're feeling gutsy and going for it here on the opening drive of the second half, as we saw a 4th and 8 inside Warren County territory, and Santel just throws a perfect little bullet out to his man.
Yeah, it was a comeback route, isn't it?
It was Terry and Grant on the sideline on a sideline comeback route, yes, earlier on 4th down.
Sometimes when you don't throw the ball the whole game and it's Santel and you're Santel, it's just like, will he have that touch? Will he be able to find his defender? And the comeback route there to Grant was in the perfect spot.
Injury timeout on the field, and so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network. It's the Siegel Stars with a lead here halfway through the third quarter as the Stars just keep doing more of the same. Zach just run it ahead with all 3 of their running backs, as that time we see number 33 Christian Fletcher on the short gain there, and the Stars just continue to milk this clock here as they've had the ball for the entirety of the third quarter so far.
6 minutes and counting, and what this does is even if Siegel doesn't score, they have limited the number of possessions in this game. That forces Warren County to go up-tempo and they have to get a turnover at this rate just to have enough possessions to come back and score and tie this game up.
Sophomore quarterback Thomas Santel has just been doing a great job of leading this offense seamlessly, and he's going to keep it on this one and run out to the near sideline, and he's going to dive ahead, and is he going to have enough for the score? No, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Gutsy play there by Santel, stretching the ball out across the pylon, but he's going to be marked out of bounds at the 1 for a 1st and goal for the Siegel Stars.
And right there, Santel does not need to be stretching it out right there. That is not a smart move at all. Because, yes, it's good. If you score a touchdown there, that's incredible. But if he gets hit before he gets to the pylon and the ball goes out of the back of the end zone, all of a sudden, it's Warren County's ball.
And it looks like they're going to dive it straight ahead here on this one, and they're going to have enough for the Siegel Stars touchdown, as it's going to be stretched out even further here on homecoming night at Siegel High School. It will be a 34-6 lead with the Stars out in front.
That push was so good right there on the quarterback sneak that Santel didn't even go down.
Zach, we saw Santel as he was in the huddle before the snap. He was just telling the guys, it's just straight ahead. We're pounding the ball. I'm running it. I'm keeping it again. Back-to-back plays. And he did just that, and to perfect execution as the snap is down and the field goal is up and good. And the Siegel Stars have a 35-6 lead over the Warren County Pioneers with 4:50 to go here in the third quarter.
That drive took 7 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock.
Even if they didn't score, like you were talking about just a second ago, Zach, that's still a win for the Siegel offense, but with the score here as well, they are just running away with this one on homecoming night. It's great. You can hear the crowd rumbling right outside our press box here at Siegel High School. They're excited for their guys. They're excited for their school. And why shouldn't you be? You're putting a number on this Warren County defense, and it is 35-6 right now.
And we talked about before this game, Siegel has to win this game because they cannot go into next week with 0 momentum. Well, what have they done? They've come out and they have handled business tonight, and it looks like right now they're going to go into next week with the momentum going into Riverdale, then going into Stewart's Creek. There was no options. It was code red. Have to win this game. Get some momentum going into those next 2 weeks. It's homecoming night. The energy's going to be there. Show up for your fans, and they did tonight.
And you can see A.J. Florence, the kicker there, doing a little dance before he sends this one away. It's going to be a line drive kick that's going to land at about the 10-yard line and roll through the back of the end zone for a touchback, as the Warren County Pioneers will take over at the 20-yard line. But, yeah, they're having fun here tonight, but also they have to keep their heads down and say, hey, we've got back-to-back district games coming up. We can't just start giving up. We can't just let up on this one. We've got to play, and we've got to keep getting the rhythm of playing all 4 quarters.
Well, if they start letting off the gas here, Warren County's more than capable to come back and make this a ball game again. I mean, Siegel sometimes has struggled in the 4th quarter this year. So just finish strong. That should be a point of emphasis if you're Siegel. Finish strong. But if you're Warren County, get some momentum going into next week. And if you start making this a game again, and then all of a sudden the game plan changes.
Elrod's going to hand it right up the middle, and it's going to be a short gain of about 2 there. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 8 on the play.
That was Grayson.
Yep, as he hands it off to Braylon Grayson, 5'10", 190-pound tailback and middle linebacker for the Warren County Pioneers. He's seen some action tonight.
You can tell by his jersey. Nothing better than seeing a player with dirt all the way up and down their
you come in with the white jersey and the white pants, and then you leave with them looking a little bit with a brown tint on them.
The only player that you want on your team that have completely white jerseys when you leave is your quarterback.
And your kicker.
No, because you want the kicker to get in on tackles.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about that. I wouldn't want my kicker getting in on the tackles unless he's the last man back, as Elrod's going to roll out to his right side, and he's going to look to run with this one, as he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 5 at the 31-yard line.
Now, in this offense, Elrod is not going to have a white jersey at the end because they use him so much in the running and rushing attack that he's going to get that jersey a little bit dirty. But Warren County right now, if I'm coach, I'm going up to them saying, I'm going to the offensive line and say, hey guys, we need you right here. Get that push. Come on guys, you got this. I mean, we've worked so hard on practice this week. This was our point of emphasis. The line of scrimmage, line of scrimmage, line of scrimmage. Now, this is where you need to start getting that push.
And going back to Siegel, they have scored touchdowns on every single one of their drives except for one where they had the fumble turnover. And then, they actually had another one as well. But every single one of their drives except for 2, they have ended with scores tonight. As we see Warren County get up to the line quickly, and it's going to be an illegal motion on the play.
That's going to be an illegal shift. Again, you can only have one player go in motion at the beginning of the snap.
And they had multiple guys going at the same time there pre-snap.
And now,
as you see the offensive line communicating about that one.
Oh, it's a false start. So they just went ahead and called it a false start. But, so if you are to put 2 people in motion, then they have to stop and set. The whole offense has to stop and set for a whole second before you snap the ball. But when you put one man into motion like the wing T offense is designed to do, that is you can do it. As long as they're not running towards the line of scrimmage at the snap, then you can snap it at any time.
I'm not going to lie to you, a little bit went over my head, but you know what I did get? I got the Siegel student section saying you can't do that in their chant as the Stars defense collapses on Braylon Grayson, once again getting him knocked down in the backfield for a loss on the play to set up a long Warren County Pioneers 3rd and long.
And that was Quentin Groves right there. He got in and he laid the boom on that.
And you can see he is feeling good after that hit.
Yeah, he is. What a hit.
2 minutes to go, just outside 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter of play, as it is 3rd down for the Warren County offense here. As Elrod brings his team back up to the line. And we're going to get an official's timeout on the play here. Looks like there was an equipment issue on the play for number 11, and that would be Bryant Lawless for the Stars. 3rd down for the Pioneers as Elrod looks to throw, and he's got a man across the middle, and he's going to have some room to keep on going out past the 45 to the 47-yard line for a Pioneers 1st down. And that time he connected with number 18 on the play.
And number 18 on the Pioneers is Tavion Miller, and that is Miller's first catch of the year, actually, as they did a little bit of a slant in that zone defense that looked like they sent some pressure there, and Miller was wide open. And that was Elrod's best throw of the day. Threw it in front of Miller where he could go in, he could catch it, and he got the extra yards after catch there. Now, just keeps up that up-tempo offense.
Let's see what they do here on first down for the Pioneers, as they're going to hand it right up the middle to the fullback, as he's going to have a gain of 1, if anything, on the play to set up a second down and long with just a minute to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, so again, they're running the ball, and they're getting those 2-3 yards on first down, but what's killing them is they're then either getting a legal shift or a false start. And they keep going, and they're moving backwards on second downs instead of moving forward. Against a team that's as good as Siegel, you cannot move back. You cannot do those those penalties.
Elrod on second down and long is going to drop back and not be able to find a target, as he is sacked on the play by the Siegel Stars defense. It looked like number 38 on the tackle there.
So that was on number 38. Andrew Ricks, he just came right up the middle. No one was blocking him.
And with that, we're going to go down to our sideline. And just kidding, we're going to keep it right here in the MTN broadcast booth here on the game of the week. It's the Siegel Stars and the Warren County Pioneers. We're setting up for a third and long here, as you just saw the Siegel Stars collapse on Elrod for the huge second down sack.
So Ricks was in that middle linebacker position that you're looking at right now, and he just came unblocked right up the middle, right into Elrod's face, and just laid him out.
Elrod's going to drop back to throw, and he's going to sling one over the top, and he's going to have a man at the 30-yard line, and he's got some room past the 20, past the 10, and he's going to walk it in for a Warren County Pioneers touchdown.
He threw it over the top to perfect throw. It could have been thrown a little bit more in front of Braylon Grayson, but Braylon Grayson does a good job of, he's got that extra speed, and he got to the corner in that pylon, and he was untouched. But if you're Siegel, you live with that. The whole third quarter has passed, and all that you have done, you basically left this in the same position that you came into it in.
And we've seen Grayson become a part of this passing attack now, as well as a force on the running game. And not to mention, he's also playing on the defensive side tonight as well.
And they're going to start going for 2 now.
Elrod brings his offense back up to the line, and he's going to have a little bit of trouble getting out of the backfield, as Siegel is all over him, and he's going to sling one over the top, and it's going to be batted down by a Siegel defender. He does a great job of avoiding the sack, but then again, you see number 88 for the Stars there once again, and that's none other than Quentin Groves, who had that huge tackle earlier on this drive. So the Siegel Stars hold up strong here on the 2-point conversion, but they allow the score over the top. It's Warren County 12, Siegel Stars 35, with just 2 seconds left here in the third quarter.
We just saw a whole quarter take 2 possessions, and that is the downside of this Warren County offense. When you're down big like this, then, I mean, you have those limited possessions. Siegel did a good job of taking 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock. So
a lot of time taken off the clock by the Stars, and then Warren County, they're not out of it yet. They're still just trying to answer. They're on the line for sure, but they're hanging in there as we see them come out.
They have to start forcing 3 and outs.
They do, in fact, have to start doing that. Their defense has to start picking up the pace a little bit, and they have to get this Siegel Stars offense off the field and in a hurry.
It would be big for a touchback right here. That means that they would have to get another play. They would have to do their first down play before the quarter breaks, and it's almost like that's a timeout. Oh, as you can see, the kicker right here, Hernandez, waving
trying to get his guys up to the line.
Like, come on, guys, we can't get another delay of game.
Yep, we do not need a delay of game, and we do not need sluggish play here, as they are going to need the pedal to the floor for the entirety of the fourth quarter and even the last 2 seconds here of the third, as the kick is away. And it's going to bounce out at the 35-yard line, and then the Stars are going to fall on top of it, where they'll start 1st and 10, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
And that is unfortunate for Warren County, because you really wanted to get to have them run one more play
so
before
it looked like they were almost going for an onside kick sort of look there. It took an awkward bounce. They were trying to bounce it off one of those deep or midfield Siegel defenders. But with that, we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter who has the update for us.
Isabella Ramirez.
Siegel up big here heading into the fourth quarter. Message from their coaches to their players, ball security. Don't do Warren County any favors. Don't help them back into this game. Warren County put up a touchdown late into the third. They're going to look to keep that momentum going, try to make this game a little interesting and head into the fourth. Back to you guys.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports broadcast booth as the Warren County Pioneers have just brought it a little bit closer, 12-35 here at the end of the third quarter. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter of play here. Zach, what has been most impressive and stuck out to you most about this Siegel offense?
Most of the time when you see a Warren County team, what they do is they just run at you and then they force the physicality on you. No, what Siegel's done tonight is they forced the physicality onto Siegel. They're saying, we're going to be more physical than you tonight. You're not going to come in here and push us around, and that's exactly what they've done.
1st and 10 here for the Siegel Stars as they're going to continue to do more of the same. Pound the rock up the middle in between the hashes as he's going to be out past the 40. And, wow, it took almost a whole 10 seconds for them to bring him down there.
Sims doesn't go down easy. He just doesn't go down easy.
As there, he's out across the 40, out to the 41-yard line. It'll set up a 2nd down and short. As now we see quarterback number 14, Jackson Brewer, come into the game with Sims behind him on his right hip.
I'm willing to bet that they're going to hand it off to Sims.
Oh, I would take you up on that bet for sure. 2nd down and short here. We'll call it a 2nd down and 5 to go.
I'm not a betting man, though, so I don't bet that.
There you go. As they are going to hand it to Sims. Zach, you would have won that bet as he was out across the 1st down marker, and he's going to have enough for a Siegel Stars 1st down at about the 46-yard line.
Sims just, he's impossible to bring down. When you get tired, I was talking about for Siegel, I was saying, hey, once we get to the fourth quarter, you're going to have to start getting into that mindset of, hey, we have got to bring this guy down after 3-4 yards. That's Warren County right now. They have to bring down Sims. It takes a conscious effort to bring him down. You have got to have the want to bring him down. You have to have the passion of the game to bring someone down like Sims this late in the game. You got to want to do it.
Brewer is going to hand it off to Sims again, running from right to left, and he's going to get hit, but he's going to still fall for extra yardage, and he's going to get out across midfield to about the 47-yard line on the play.
So I think that the tackle actually goes to number 81, Jimmy Sneed, his teammate, because Braylon Grayson just blew up Sneed right into the running back, right into Sims right there.
In fact, he did. Yes, yes, he did.
Now Fletcher's in the backfield.
Fletcher in the backfield now as he'll have the duties of the 2nd and short. We'll see if Fletcher gives him to him here as they look over to the Star sideline to get the signal. And here again, you just see the Stars just milking the clock here, trying to get some different offensive looks here on tape before they go into some district play in the next couple weeks. And they're going to hand it off here on 2nd down, and he's going to have enough for the 1st down across the 45-yard line down to about the 42. 1st and 10 for the Siegel Stars.
I think he looked at his play call sheet and was like, you know what? Are we going to run center or off the left tackle, left center, or left guard or right guard? And he goes, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to get 6-7 yards anyway. So
no matter which way they go, it seems to be all Stars running tonight. And
there's just straight downhill running right up the middle. A halfback draw, halfback draw, halfback draw. I mean, they just dominated the line of scrimmage. Just 4 or 5 yards. A carry just doesn't happen.
Now, Zach, the last time these two teams matched up, it was last year, and it was a 20-25 game in favor of the Warren County Pioneers, as we see a short gain there on 1st down, gain of about 2. It was a 25-20 game, but with the Siegel Stars, they're bringing back a lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors who are making up the core of their football team this year, and you're seeing just how much of an improvement they've made between last year and this year.
Those sophomores and juniors we were talking about turned into juniors and seniors this year, and they have stepped up big time. Sims have himself a night. He's probably up around 150, 160 yards at least. The defense has just been incredible tonight. They have had the want to all games and bring down the Warren County
Who
defenders.
was it you were talking about? Sims, because he's got the ball again, and he's out across the 30-yard line down to the 27-yard line to pick up another Stars first down as we're closing in on the 8-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. As you see, number 24 for Siegel hobbling off the field. That's Elliot
Tenpenny.
Elliot Tenpenny, yes, the senior, 5'11", 170-pounder. Yeah, and we've been talking about Sims all night long, and there again you see him lined up in the backfield. He's just ready for more downfield running, downhill running, if you will. It looks like he's getting ready to get it again.
Oh, they may go out to the outside tackle right here.
And here he goes, and he's going to bobble the snap there, or bobble the handoff, excuse me, but he's going to be down across the 20-yard line where he'll finally be brought down. And even on that somewhat broken play, still able to make a lot out of the play, as we see number 77 for the Pioneers there, looking like he's got a little bit of a cramp or something going on his right hip, and he's going to have to stumble off the field. He's going to have to go in a hurry, though.
The officials are going to stop the clock. But again, Sims right there did a good job of he recognized where the defense was. He bobbled the snap, and he didn't let that get to him. Like, most of the time you'll see running backs say, oh, let's just get what I can get and go down. He was like, you know what? I can gut in between these two players right here and get 6-7 yards. Get 6-7 yards out of it. And I mean, Sims is just – he's got the vision tonight. He's done a good job of finding the correct holes and going through the correct holes. He hasn't missed a hole all night.
Siegel's just going to keep on doing more of the same as they hand it off to Fletcher once again here on first down for the Stars, and he's going to get a medium gain on the play. Be brought down just inside the 25-yard line, I believe.
And now third down. All of a sudden, if Warren County can get off the field here and force them to, if they don't kick it, force them to get the ball back and they go down and score really quick, it's a 2-score game. But
Zach, I was asking you if they still had a shot, if they were still in this earlier, but I don't know. You seemed a little uncertain over there, seeming to have some second thoughts now. As we see the Stars line up again and just pound it ahead for another first down, as it'll be first and at about just inside the 15-yard line, at the 13-yard line, deep in Warren County territory.
Yeah, that was their biggest chance so far to get off the field. That was 3rd and 2. And again, they have had the ball for almost 6 minutes on back-to-back drives. You cannot, if you were Warren County, you cannot afford for that to happen.
As we see the Warren County defensive line look like they were going to jump. If the offensive line had moved after that, that would have been called for sure. No call on the play, though, as they're going to hand it off to Sims again, and he's going to keep on going, just keep on chugging. He just ran his own guys over, running a couple of his offensive linemen over. And there was a huge collision on the play, but once again, the collision wasn't between a defender and Sims. It was between Sims and his own offensive line.
And he just,
he's running wherever he's got to go, whoever he's got to go through.
He's just lowering his shoulder and saying, you know what, no one's tackling me tonight, whether it's my own guy or if it's Warren County, just getting 6-7 yards per carry.
And we have a Warren County defender down on the field rolling over onto his back, and he does not look like he's doing well with that timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back with more fourth quarter action here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week. It's Siegel and Warren County here on the NFHS Network.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it? 6 feet apart.
1, 2, 3, 4, hide play, no more.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Back here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week, as Sims is going to be stacked up for one of the first times all night long. I think that's just the second or third time we've seen him go down for no gain on the play.
I will say, one player that has stood out for Warren County right now that you're looking at in your screen is number 24, Braylon Grayson. He's been all over the field on defense and offense. He had that long touchdown catch. He had the touchdown run. Oh, my goodness.
And somebody was trying to go over the top of that pile.
Guess
but
who it
there
was?
It
was Braylon Grayson, the guy we were just highlighting.
Braylon Grayson for sure, yes, as we see a false start there from the Stars offense. And they'll be backed up 5 yards. That'll make this a little bit more challenging.
But again, Braylon Grayson has been one of the big bright spots today for Warren County. He has done his job tonight. He's done a good job of – there was one time earlier in the first half where one of the drives that ended up fumble for Siegel, he chased down a man that was 30 was off to the races, and he took a perfect angle and was able to bring him down at about the 50-yard line. 2 plays later, they fumbled the ball. So he's done a good job, and he's done his part of making those big plays.
Third down and goal for the Siegel Stars, and Sims is going to take it, and he's going to take it all the way for a Siegel Stars touchdown to make this a 41-12 Siegel homecoming night lead here in the Borough. Zach, they keep on giving it to their horse, and why not? He's proven himself effective time after time, putting on a show tonight for the full house here at Siegel.
Backs like him get stronger and stronger and stronger as the game goes along. And that is what you saw. He just keeps throwing his shoulder, and he's getting, after contact, 6, 7, 8 yards now.
The kick is up and good, and it is a 42-12 Siegel lead here at the 6-minute mark in the fourth quarter of action.
I mean, anything that Siegel wanted to do tonight, wanted to prove, they came out and they proved it.
And sometimes, and we've seen this early on in some of our other games that we've called so far this year, when you show that you're one-dimensional, sometimes it proves to be ineffective. But when you have a superpower, I was about to call him a weapon, but I'm going to call him a superpower like Sims tonight, number 9 on that Siegel offense, you keep feeding it to him, and he has proven to be effective all night long consistently.
Yeah, so they just kept, pounding the rock and pounding it and pounding it. Give it to Sims, give it to Fletcher. And this whole second half, that's all they've done. And their 2 touchdown drives have totaled 7 minutes and 10 seconds and 6 minutes and 39 seconds. That means that they have had the ball for 13 minutes and 39 seconds on this to start this in the second half, out of the only possible 18 minutes.
They have had the ball for quite a while. They have won the time of possession battle as well as the overall score battle, up 42-12 here. now over halfway through the fourth quarter of play as the kick is up and away. And Warren County will field it from about the 20-yard line, and he's going to get out past the 25 to about the 26, where the Pioneers will start once again on first down. We'll see what Elrod brings to the table here with this offense, if they're going to stick with the run and just try and milk this clock away, or if they're going to try and go on the aerial attack here, Zach.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I would expect them to keep running the ball because that's what's worked well. But last drive, they were able to go over the top to Braylon Grayson for that long touchdown from Elrod. I mean, really, they've thrown the ball more this game than they have the whole rest of the year combined. So,
first and 10 for the Pioneers at the 26-yard line, as it's going to be a handoff to the right-hand side, and he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. We'll call it a gain of 1 on the play to about the 27 of the Pioneers.
Yeah, so they're just going to keep running it.
Closing in on the 5-minute mark here, just 5 minutes to go left here in the fourth quarter for Siegel to pull this one out on homecoming night.
And again, this is a non-district game, so this really doesn't mean anything for Warren County. I mean, their one win of the year has been that district game, that region game. They're 1-0 in region. So,
and like you said, they have a 1-3 record right now, but that one win was a district win, and for that reason, they sit at the top of their division.
And it doesn't matter if you lose these games against Siegel, against other schools. As long as you win the ones in your region, that's how you make the playoffs.
Is it going to be a handoff? And he's going to fake the handoff, actually, as Elrod is going to keep it to the left-hand side, and he's going to spin around and get a first down out past the 30-yard line, out to the 35.
And he just kept his legs moving, and I think that was actually Alex Van Buren right there. Yeah, that was Alex Van Buren, the freshman. Excuse me, not the freshman. They have it by years here, so I think he's a sophomore. Class of 2024?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with a sophomore.
As Van Buren is going to get the snap again, and he's going to hand it off to number 27 on the Pioneers, and he's going to get out across the midfield stripe and get out to what appears to be the 40-yard line of the Stars.
And that's Dawson Haley right there. Dawson Haley went through that A-gap and was able to lower his head and get those extra yards. Again, now this offensive line is starting to get what they want with this Siegel defensive line. So good job right now of getting that initial push. As you see that flag flying right now in the Siegel side, on the Siegel student section.
What do they have on that flag? I can't quite make it out, but no matter what, they're waving it, and they're waving it with pride here tonight at Siegel High School.
There was an American flag somewhere on that. I saw that much.
Yeah.
Theme's redneck tonight.
They are rednecking it down there tonight, and they had cowboy hats all over the place. As you see, another short gain here on first down for the Pioneers. Second down and 9 with 2 minutes 45 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of action.
And that was given to their return extraordinaire Cox, but that was Groves again in on the tackle.
Did you say return?
Return extraordinaire.
Return extraordinaire.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. I never heard that one before.
Yeah, he's the one that returns. This is their main kick returner. So
the return extraordinaire. That was good. It's got me chuckling up here. Van Buren's going to keep it this time up the middle, and he's going to get out to about the 40-yard line where he's brought down. It's going to set up a 3rd and long here for the Warren County Pioneers. 42-12 here with 2 minutes to go in the game. 3rd and long for the Pioneers here as they bring in number 18, Tavon Miller, wide receiver.
And there's a little clock's winding down, a little under 2 minutes. So Warren County's just getting ready for next week right now. And, I mean, they're moving the ball well the last 2 drives. So whatever adjustments they made at halftime on the offensive side of the ball has really worked.
And another short gain by the Pioneers offense here as they gain about 2 on the play. And it'll set up a 4th down for the Pioneers, and we'll see what they do here. It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. They're just going to go for it with a minute 25 to go here and clock running. By the time they snap it, it'll probably be about a minute to go. And then depending on if they get it, it'll be Siegel's ball, and they'll have to take 2 knees, and that'll be it. 4th down here for the Pioneers, and let's see what they got. If anything's left in the tank, Van Buren is going to air it out, and he's going to overthrow his man, and there's going to be a late flag down on the play.
And they're going to call that pass interference. As you see number 3 right there from
that was number 16.
Siegel.
That was number 16 guarding number 16, closing in on the coverage, and then number 3, you can see him coming back into the shot now. Yeah,
I think that was actually Jalen Thompson in there, the sophomore that got there a little early because he read it to perfection. He just got there a second late. So that's an automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Warren County not going down without a fight here. They're going to give them their money's worth for sure, as they'll play all 48 minutes here. As we are closing in on that 48th minute with just a minute 11 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter of action. We want to give a huge shout out to Siegel High School for hosting us here tonight on a beautiful Friday night for homecoming. It couldn't have gone much better here for the Stars. As Van Buren is going to keep this one, and he's going to get it out across the 20-yard line, I believe, and get it out to about the 16.
So you're probably going to see 2-3 more plays before this game's over. Just look at the atmosphere out there tonight. From beginning to end, Siegel's crowd has been into it, and that's thanks in large part.
So, yes.
Thanks in large part to how Siegel has handled it. They've came in, they've ran the ball, they've run it down Warren County's throats, and Warren County couldn't stop it.
Excuse me, they are just outside the 20-yard line, so they'll line up at about the 22, and he's going to hand it off to number 8 on the far sideline, and he's going to get a gain of about 2 on the plate, and it'll set up a 3rd and 6, and that very well could be the last snap of the night. The Pioneers look like they're going to huddle up one more time. We'll see if they have anything left in store for us for one last snap here, or if they'll just run it out. 18 seconds left to go.
So you can feel the bleachers shake right there from how ecstatic that this crowd is for this game.
Oh, yeah.
And this team and this win.
Closing in on the last 5 seconds here of play. And they will get off the last second snap, and he's going to keep it on this one, and he's going to have the first down out inside the 10-yard line. But that is going to be all for us here on this one. On this Friday night, we have the Siegel Stars winning at home on homecoming night by a score of 42-12 over the Warren County Pioneers. What a great homecoming night matchup for these guys. And yes, while it was a little bit of a lopsided affair, we had a great performance from the Siegel running backs. We'll be right back with our post-game show here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network. Stick around.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to post-game coverage here on the MTN Sports Game of the Week, as Siegel has just pulled out the homecoming victory by a score of 42-12 over the Warren County Pioneers. Now, Zach, tonight was the Corey Sims Show. Talk us through a little bit of the takeaways from this Siegel offense. What do they have to do to carry this into their next few games? We know they have some district action coming up Talk about how this confidence carries over.
The big thing is that their physicality has to keep coming over. Again, they're going on the road the next 2 games. We were talking about before the game. The saying is the run game travels. You can take a run game anywhere. Sometimes it's raining and that affects the passing game. Sometimes snowing affects the passing game again. But for them to be able to do this tonight and show their physicality up front, this was something that they've been lacking so far this year. They have in their wins, they have dominated the front, but in their losses, they have not. So for them to come out today and dominate that is what really led Siegel to this blowout win tonight.
Everybody on that Siegel offensive unit just showed great discipline and just stuck with what they knew all game long. Had a little bit of a slow start, but then as they they really didn't have a slow start though. I mean, they fumbled it, on that one early possession, but everything else, it was touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to send it down to Seth on the sidelines, who's got the post-game report for us on the sideline.
Here from Siegel, final score 42-12, defeating Warren County. That final touchdown drive from Siegel, 3rd and goal to go. Coach's message to the players, hey, guys, let's go get this. Let's finish the game. Let's put the exclamation point. And, guys, that's what they got. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Seth. And with that, we are going to wrap things up here for the MTN Sports Game of the Week on the NFHS Network. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you to Siegel High School for hosting us as well. And, Zach, you got any closing thoughts here for us tonight?
Yeah, so the big thing for Warren County, there's this big show going on right now, Ted Lasso. His famous saying is, have a memory like a goldfish. A goldfish's memory is 10 seconds, so be a goldfish. So going into next week, Warren County, what they need to do is just forget this week. This week, nothing really went well besides Braylon Grayson. So Braylon Grayson, do what you did this week. Next week, it's a new team. Again, you're undefeated in region. You are the #1 team in region. Put this one at the back of your mind and then go on to the next one. And Siegel, just keep going. Just keep doing what you did tonight. They did a good job of the physicality. Bring the physicality every week and it's going to be good.
Both these teams going to bring takeaways from this game and carry them into next week. Warren County on the losing side and then Siegel on the winning side as well. Huge momentum for them going into district play the next couple weeks against Riverdale and Stewart's Creek. That's going to wrap things up for us here in the MTN Sports broadcast booth. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the NFHS Sports Network. As we see Siegel take the homecoming victory here by a score of 42-12 over the Warren County Pioneers. Thank you so much for joining us, and tune in next week for next Game of the Week here on the NFHS Network.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it? 6 feet apart. Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
so many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.